here is basically saying that no one's actually going to say that they're Confucian, but the ideals and the teachings of Confucianism are so deeply ingrained in society that it's there to look for. And that brings us to what makes an effective leader. This is a relevant topic, especially in modern world and in political aspects of the world, as well as economic and business matters. Assume that human nature is good. Confucius taught this, and he really believed in it. And today we can see that there's an effect called the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe that people are good, and people believe that they're good, they tend to be good. Virtuous leadership produce moral and diligent behaviors in others. This is pretty much the same as like setting an example and leading by example. Leaders should appear to be legitimate and virtuous. Governmental cabinets should seem to be elected from the most capable and morally upright individuals. This is all pretty much the same thing. The elite should appear to serve the people. The elite are pretty much there to serve the people. They're there because of the people. We elect presidents into office, and they're there for the people. Ideals should stay meaningful, and rules should avoid strong centralization. As I mentioned earlier, China moving away from Confucianism. China is communist, and Confucius thought that with strong centralization, nations would tend to move towards corruption and nepotism, things like that. So that brings us to the business world.
Alright, Confucianism in the business world. Within the business world, there are several ideas that seem to be very similar, if not Confucian ideas. Some of these ideas are the hierarchy structure, the evolved business leader, and proper etiquette in the business world. Etiquette in the business world. Acting properly in the business world is very important. You have to be a virtuous employee. You have to know broadly about other cultures. For example, if you're doing international business, you will have to, in China, you will have to give a business card with 2 hands rather than with 1 hand. Therefore, show respect to their customs and so forth. And respecting superiors, that's another big thing. This is the employee-boss relationship. This is a very important Confucian idea, as it establishes a hierarchy. This leads to my next point. The hierarchy structure. Businesses all have hierarchy structures. The comparison is very similar to the familiar structure, which Confucius talks about. The CEO would be something like a father, the VP would be something like a mother, another brother, and the employee would be the youngest. Confucius addresses it in his analysis regarding loyalty to a leader or patriarchal figure, or regarding knowing one's place. In other words, if you're an employee, would you talk back to your manager? Probably not. Now, the role of business leader. There's several things a business leader must do. Alright, he has to be a gentleman is ashamed in his words, not shy in his actions. This is basically you have to act. You have to act out your words rather than just saying it. If you just said it, you'd be hypocritical. You must be authoritative. Now, the gentleman gives 3 different impressions seen from afar. He is awe-inspiring on approaching closer. He is gentle on listening. His words are stern. So, pretty much, a business leader has to appear authoritative, otherwise people would not follow him. If a business leader seemed very shy and very not outgoing, he would not take the steps in order to do a business deal, the steps required to do a business deal. You must win the hearts of the employees. Okay, you must elevate the honest and love the wrongdoers, and there will be support from the people. Elevate the wrongdoers and love the honest, and there will not be support from the people. Now, this is based on how the employees will react. Say you put someone in a higher position if they lie, cheat, and steal. Now, the honest employees will obviously be very disgruntled because this is not fair. And another thing is lead through policies, discipline through punishment, and the people may be restrained, but without a sense of shame. Lead through virtue, discipline through rights, and there will be a sense of shame and conscientious improvement. This is something displayed in several countries in Asia: Singapore, Hong Kong, Korea, and Japan. Now, if you're Cantonese, you probably have heard of this phrase before. That is pretty much like in Hong Kong, when you do something wrong and you're an employee, you might not immediately be fired, or what actually happens is that you would have to write a letter stating your mistake, which would be you have to display your shame, because you made a mistake, you have to admit to it, therefore everyone will know to it, and you will not do it again. Now, the reputation ideas in the modern business world, look at Johnson & Johnson's credo. Johnson & Johnson's credo values their customers, the doctors, and pretty much anyone that buys their products over everything else that they do. Profit is last on their minds. They put pretty much everyone, the employees, the family, they put it all before profit, as they say in the bottom part. So, in summation, this is the Confucius quote, which pretty much summarizes everything that we need in the business world. The superior man has 9 things which are subjects with him of thoughtful consideration. In regard to the use of his eyes, he is anxious to see clearly. In regard to the use of his ears, he is anxious to hear distinctly. In regard to his countenance, he is anxious that it should be benign. In regard to his speech, he is anxious that it should be sincere. In regard to his doing of business, he is anxious that it should be reverently careful. In regard to what he doubts about, he is anxious to question others. When he is angry, he thinks of the difficulties his anger may involve him in. And when he sees gains be got, he thinks of righteousness.